Hey, what's happening, YouTube? This is the We All Juggle Knives channel, and you are watching my review of the CRKT Woods Nobo Tomahawk. Now, this was designed by RMJ, the famous tomahawk company, and it is made in Taiwan. Right, the steel of the head is 1055 mid-carbon steel, and it's got what they call a hammered finish. I have added paracord just to protect from overstrikes. The handle itself is Tennessee hickory, and it has a lacquer coating to protect it from moisture. This is my third tomahawk in the CRKT Woods series of hawks. Very affordable, useful tomahawks. The price is around $40, give or take. I will include an Amazon link if you want to pick one up, and links to the others in the series as well. I have a lot of usage footage coming up. I think you will enjoy it. I did some splitting with this hawk, making some kindling. And it's actually the least effective of the three in this series for this, just because it is the lightest, right? It's got the lightest head. But nonetheless, if you choose your pieces of firewood wisely, it can split. And that piece was pretty big. You saw that. But yeah, in a pinch, you can use this to split firewood. It's not an axe, and it's a tomahawk. It's a bit lighter than most hatchets, but still. Here it is doing some carving. Now, this is not sped up. I just have a really fast metabolism. No, I'm kidding. I'm a human woodpecker. No. Yeah, this is sped up just for because I don't want to make overly long videos. But we're making the famous tent stake / vampire stake zombie deanimator. Alright, this was phase 1, where I use a hawk or hatchet to just make it vaguely in the shape of a stake. Then you could take a knife like this, and I used that knife to just finish it. Took a few minutes, but I smoothed it out and made it really pointy. Alright, so you can use a Mora or any knife. Now, if you are carrying a tomahawk out there in the field, I'm going to assume that you're also going to be carrying like a small knife at least. Like, I would carry a small, very sharp slicing knife along with my hawk. Now, in the event that you were not carrying a knife, I could have made the entire stake using only the tomahawk. It just would have been kind of annoying because the head of a hawk is a lot thicker than that full flat ground knife. Like, no matter how sharp you make the edge, it's still thicker just behind the edge. Alright, chopping up some basically yard debris, branches that fell down in the last windstorm we had. Yeah, so you can chop up branches. Now, this hawk didn't actually come as sharp as it could have. It came with more of a working edge, and I have watched other reviews to see if theirs was that way too, and that's just how it comes. Right, so basically, if you sharpen it more, it will be able to go through branches a lot better and faster. Right, but as it is, this is just the working edge that it came with. Still does a decent job. Right, I'm choking up there just to get more control because, when you're holding a branch like this, you don't want to swing away, right, and keep your legs out of the way. So that's the branch that we chopped. It's all right for this task. Like I said, it just needs some sharpening if you want to do a lot of this stuff. All right, an even larger branch. Yeah, this branch was really dry. Like, once you go through that moldy bark, it's actually extremely dry and gnarly. This is where you would really want an axe, or a heavy hatchet. But, so why do people use tomahawks? Because it's so much lighter than an axe. Like, depending on where you're going and how far you're walking, a lot of people prefer to carry a lighter item like the hawk. So yeah, even though like an axe with a 36-inch handle and a 4-pound head would have done that much faster, people don't always want to carry a big axe, so that's where hawks fit in. So in a pinch, you know, if you have the energy to expend, it can tackle some axe-like stuff. Okay, final thing with this tomahawk, making some shavings. Now, as I said, this didn't come as sharp as it could have. So in the real world, if you really expected to do this, you would sharpen this up. As I said, I would always carry a small knife, so I would probably never have to do this. So really, this part is just to simulate if you somehow broke your knife or if you somehow lost your knife or something, God forbid, then you could make some shavings with the hawk. If you're one of those fetish people that doesn't want to carry a knife, you just want to carry a single tool, just the hawk, then you would have to sharpen up the edge a lot more if you plan to do this regularly. All right, comparison time with the other CRKT Woods hawks. You've got the Nobo, the Chogan, and the Kanji. So which one of these should you get? Well, if you want the lightest one, then you should get the Nobo, right? Because it's just the easiest to carry. If you want something that hits a little harder and is a bit heavier, then get the Chogan. Unless you really, really want a back spike on your hawk, in which case get the Kanji. Right? So which one is my favorite? Probably the Chogan, just because I find the hammerback really useful, and even if you never use that to hammer with, it adds some weight and punch to the hawk, and it just hits hard. All right, final thoughts on this Woods Nobo. Well, ways to improve the hawk. I did listen to and watch the video by the designer of the hawk that's on here, and he said you could hammer with the back, so I was thinking just to make it a little easier to use that hammer function, they could make a little flattened part on the back of the head. And the only other thing I would do is I think CRKT should spend the extra $5 or whatever it would cost just to completely finish the edge and give you a really nice sharp edge rather than the working edge. All right, so those are the only ways I would improve it. But overall, this is a really solid, excellent design that I highly recommend, considering the very reasonable price, you know, and also the weapon potential of a hawk, which we didn't even talk about because you could talk for an hour on how to deanimate another person with a hawk, but YouTube probably would zap my video if I went too far there. So just have in your mind, in addition to all the camping and all the bushcraft uses, there's also the emergency weapon potential of the hawk. But overall, yeah, really like this whole series from CRKT. Check out the links I will include. Please try to do your normal shopping through those links. They really help support the channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. This has been We All Juggle Knives and Hawks. I'm out.